Hello.
Hi, may I help you?
Yes, ma'am. Can I speak to the mayor, please?
Yes, of course.
Hey, how y'all? Hey, how you doing?
Oh,
Good. Hello.
there you are. Hi.
Just trying to warm the plants a little bit. How you doing?
Well, we're doing the best as we can.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
I'll get you a seat.
Okay.
Still struggling on your baby?
Yeah, that's lightly to say, struggling.
So we still haven't gotten her or him?
No, we sure haven't.
Wow.
And
This has
been quite a while.
what's the holdup? Did you get you a lawyer?
We did, but we had to fire the first two because they were just walking us into the noose.
We had to fire all of them.
Yeah, the first two at the shelter care hearing, if they were good lawyers, they would have noticed that there was no pickup order to begin with. They would have also noticed there was no petition, and they would have had the case thrown out immediately. So it was all planned. You can just see how that was planned and operated. So to be honest with you, we just don't feel safe with anybody here, because if they're willing to go to the lengths of doing what they've done to us, it's
So this was a lawyer that was with the family
appointed by the judge.
appointed by the judge. Who was the attorney?
Argo and Wilkinson,
I don't know them.
Jennifer Argo and Wilkinson.
They're not from around here.
Yeah. Well, I know there's some type of gag order by statute, but I see you as you're the mayor of this city. I mean, so I would think that I could be able to talk to you because you're an oath keeper, right?
Absolutely.
So whenever there's an injustice being done and it's being dragged out for so long, all you can do is exhaust all people to try and get something done and to get some relief. So what do you see as the supreme law? What is the supreme law to you?
Are you talking about as far as the law of the land?
Yeah, the law of the land.
I guess the Alabama Supreme Court, or on up to the federal.
The Constitution, the United States Constitution. And then we have our statutes, but ultimately the United States Constitution is the supreme law. But a lot of times organizations like DHR, they go by policies, and it's not even anything that it's breaking the Constitution. Well, we've got evidence. We actually since day one. We were very naive. I know God. I don't know man's law. This has been a very rude lesson for us both, because neither one of us really knew man's law, and it didn't matter if we had a lawyer or not, because obviously they were walking us into the noose. So we had to try and learn it very fast as we can, and we did. We've learned what we learn now because of this event. But unfortunately, it's very sad because our family is at stake here, and our child is being abused, and so are we.
Are you getting any visitation of the child?
We're getting visitations within that's 12 hours a week, and we have 1,300 other minutes or other hours that are being missed a week. So it doesn't justify anything.
He only took visits away for 5 weeks. When I was breastfeeding, my milk dried up. The supervisor at DHR stopped visits for absolutely no reason.
So
just maliciously.
What we have going on here is abuse of authority. I believe in authority, and I can tell you because I can prove it within God. You have children, right?
Yes, sir.
You are the authority to your children. Now, because you have love, because you know love for your children, you're going to abide by your children. You're going to be the proper authority, unless you have hate in your heart. All right? I believe the same concept goes for authority or government for humans until we can get to a certain level of maturity. And what I say is that one man must be governed by another until that man can find the true governor within themselves, which is God. You see what I'm saying? Because most people, especially if you're younger, they don't understand who the Creator is. You can be told but nobody feels it yet until they get to a certain level of understanding. So I understand the concept of it, and it's not that I've seen some things with like sovereign citizens and stuff like that. We don't classify ourselves as above the law and or trying to take anything over. But what I'm trying to say here is that we were put under severe stress and duress, thrown into a court system, trying to speak their language of law.
When we haven't broken any laws.
Yeah, when we ourselves haven't broken any laws. And we were just passing through the state of Alabama. And now the way that law works is that they say, come on into the courtroom and speak our law. But it becomes some things can be taken out of context, and or then they'll try and pervert it back at you and use it against you somehow, because you might have said the wrong things, or you might not have spoken the law correctly, or you might not have done the right little procedures, you know. And ultimately, the way I look at it is that we haven't broken any laws. We didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, why have you not gotten the baby back?
The only thing that I can think of is ultimately why does any type of good event and or good person have conflicts with someone else? Because there's some type of evil in the heart of the other one.
Okay.
And so what I'm trying to get at is
then let's put that aside.
Yeah.
What hoops have you not jumped through in order to get your child back? What are they telling you you've got to do?
To bow down to the devil, which we will not do, because we have done nothing wrong, and there was a legal search and seizure, and they cannot get past that.
They're trying to. It's a coercion and conversion process is what this is. I know what it is.
They literally broke the law to take our child for no reason, and everyone's looking past this. They broke the law.
Okay, and I totally understand that. I didn't agree with what happened when they got your child, and this was back December. When did all this start?
December 5th was the was that the dependency hearing?
They took him in October. It's been 6 months. Tomorrow it'll be 6 months.
6 months.
He's 6 months old today.
You know, I didn't agree with any of that then, but you know, for some reason you're not getting the child back, and that's. And I can see the way you're thinking, and I can see the way you're wanting to do things and to prove them wrong, but you're going to have to find out what they want of you outside of bowing down, and I don't think they want you to bow down.
They broke the law. They stole our child.
And I totally understand
Thou
that.
shalt not steal, period.
And I totally understand that. But
there was no drugs. There was no alcohol. There was no flex.
Why have you not worked the system or to work to satisfy what they need from you to get your child back?
I guess. Hold on a second. I guess the best way to do it is that okay. You're the father of your child. You are the authority of your child, and you love your child. Now, when your child doesn't agree with something that you've done, and he's trying to tell you that because you've gone off course, and you keep saying to him, "Why are you not jumping through my hoops?" Your child's going to lose respect for you, because you keep focusing on the wrong perception.
I totally understand that, but that child has been out of your custody for 6 months.
That's not our fault.
That's not our fault. It's the authorities. It's the fault of.
It would be just like kidnapping.
It is kidnapping.
It is kidnapping by lawful definition. This is a kidnapping, and no one wants to see that.
Then pay the ransom. Pay the ransom, get your child back, then get you a good attorney and go after them. Look, you're losing sight of the main thing.
We don't live here. They want to come to our home. Our home is far across the country. Do they want to go there? Because we don't live here.
Where is your home?
We don't live here. That's all anyone needs to know. We do not live in the state of Alabama.
Do whatever it's going to take to get your child back.
I will not bow down to the devil when the devil stole my child.
I don't know what else to tell you.
They broke the law.
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
I don't. If they had my child, this is me personally, and I totally understand your feelings toward this. If this was me personally and they had my child, yes, sir, what do you want me to do? I'll do this, I'll do that.
They
Just
broke
let
the
me
law.
have my child back.
They broke the law.
Then I take my child and I bug out.
They
All
broke
right, so
the
you
law.
know what that would be like. That would say someone stealing your car, and then the people, they want you to go and do this and do that before you can get your car back.
You know, that's a car. I can go down the street
Right,
and buy
this
another
is
car.
far
This is
more
my child.
important.
I know, I totally.
This is my child.
Right.
That's in your head. This
Yeah.
is my child.
This is
That's-
far
I'll
that's
do
more
exactly-
whatever
important.
it takes to
That's-
get my child back. I'll take my child and I'll bug out of here.
You just hit the nail on the head. It's flesh and blood. That's why they're.
Our flesh and blood.
That's why
Exactly.
that's why we
Ours.
shouldn't. That's why we shouldn't be making excuses for tyrannical authority. Instead, we should be making a difference.
So what point are you proving now?
What point are we proving? We're proving that that man has become so far off from God that within their own authority they lost themselves.
And you're just now figuring that out?
No, I've known that for a very long
Absolutely.
time.
Man is so far
Yeah.
away. That's why man is so sinful now. That's why God is treating our
So,
country the way it is.
Do we just let that keep happening, or do we make a stand so people start waking up to the
If
truth?
nobody stands and is willing to sacrifice, it will never change.
Okay.
If everybody-
the two of you are sacrificing.
We're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
The two of you are sacrificing your child to make
No,
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
They
They
are.
are.
You see, it's the perception here.
How bad do you want your child back?
That's Lucifer
That's
saying
something the
that.
devil would say.
That's
Hang
something.
the carrot over the head until you bow down to me. Serve me, the devil says.
You see.
Okay. What can I help you with?
Well, I guess like I said, all that we can do is
Speak truth.
speak truth and the evidence
The truth.
that we have.
We've done nothing wrong.
and try and get-
Every single thing has been proven in court. There's nothing against us. There's no evidence backing up any claims. The judges know this. Every single judge. 4 judges have recused from this case because no one wants to stand up for the Constitution.
What can I help you with?
What can you do for us?
I've sat here and tried to talk to you and reason with you.
Other than trying to get us to submit to criminals, even though they have a badge, but it is criminal. What can you do for us?
Then there's nothing I can do for you. I can speak on your behalf. Hey, this is a loving family that wants their child back. What do they need to do? If you're not willing to do that, I don't know what I can do. I mean, standing on the street with your sign out here that's an awesome testament for you want to do it. But is that going to get your child back?
But that's just
It's
it.
awakening a lot of people right now to what's going on in the world, and a lot of hearts are changing for
Okay.
God.
Then you are point on. You are on your mission. Then I just continue doing that. And if you can witness to people that way, through your heartache, through your sacrifice of your child,
We're
then
not sacrificing
It's
our
not a
child.
sacrificing.
it's a sacrifice when that child don't come home.
Our
to you.
child was kidnapped,
it's-
and they are
Look.
sacrificing our child.
That child don't
I-
come home with you.
I'll tell you what.
That's not our
Hold on, let me
fault.
show them what the sacrifice is, because it's perception here. The sacrifice is not giving in to Lucifer. You see what I'm saying? And us knowing that. Do you see the sacrifice? The sacrifice is always to not give in to Lucifer.
Then what you
The
should
sacrifice
do
is not us and what we're doing. See, Lucifer perverts the law and perverts God's law and turns it back at you. So we're sacrificing in the sense because we're not giving in to Lucifer because we love God.
Okay. Then just have faith in God working this out, and don't worry with me. Don't worry with the police. Don't worry with the law. Don't
God
worry with the judge.
inspired others to help.
But that's just it. The only way that God can work is if man and woman accept the inspiration of God to do something about it. God gave man to authority, you, man, to your son, authority, same authority, to guide and to do the right thing. And if we don't do the right things as fathers or mothers for our children, then they're going to grow up tyrannical. If we don't do the right thing as authority figures within our government, it's going to become tyrannical. Do you see?
Then just continue with faith and pray that God intervenes. That's all I can.
God can only intervene through people.
Through man. That's right.
Right. Inspirations of people.
So I guess if there's nothing that you can do as far as
What do you suggest I do?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I am here as
I mean, right after this happened, I called DHR and expressed my concern that I was not happy with this, and they pretty well told me, okay, thanks for your call.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I guess.
I mean, I've tried to intervene.
Many people don't even understand that DHR actually doesn't even have authority. We have researched and dug into laws, and we have studied and studied and studied. I feel like I could pass the bar at this point, because that's all I do. And I can't do it anymore because I'm so bogged down.
Well, then file your lawsuit against them. File an in judgment against them. If you don't want to be an attorney, be your own attorney. You said that you could pass the bar. Be your own attorney.
Well, you couldn't necessarily pass the bar. I think she was, but
I mean, I don't know what else. It frustrates me now because this has gone on this long.
Mhm.
And you know, and if we feel like it's in God's time, then it's in God's time.
Well, you know, that's why I said I wouldn't be doing the right thing we wouldn't be doing the right thing if we didn't come sitting here now trying to asking our brothers and sisters for relief. How can God work if we didn't come to you now? How could God work? Right now, God's working. It just depends on however many people we go to. Is anybody listening? Are they just hearing, or are they listening? You see, it just depends on how many people are we going to go to where they have compassion and they're listening. They're not just hearing it.
And it may take more than one person, you know, to come together. But we're not doing our job, like you said, unless we speak truth.
Well, I'm sorry y'all have to go through it. I really am. I mean, like I say, it frustrates me that it's gone on this long. After y'all left in the cold weather, I thought everything was resolved and you got your child back and everybody was happy.
It was
anytime it goes all the way up to a judge, I guess it kind of lingers out for a while whenever you have evidence of malicious intent on with a judge. You know, it can drag things out for a while because they make a call, but ultimately they were recused. And
who is the judge over it now?
That would be Bud Turner, and he pretty much steamrolled us at the status conference that we had, mocked us, but it kind of seemed like he was putting on a show for DHR and/or trying to protect Walker.
Do you mind if I call Bud Turner and ask him what's going on with it? Now, I mean, I don't want to cross over your gag order. I don't know if you're not even allowed to come in here and talk to me, or
I don't know that either.
Or what? I mean, we haven't talked about the case. I've sat here and tried to get an idea of what's going on with it.
Well, the way that we look at it is, if the Constitution is the supreme law of the land and the First Amendment speaks
We should have freedom of speech.
The gag order doesn't mean anything to us.
Yeah. I've got Bud's number. I can call him and find out or see what you need to do to get your child back.
Well,
that's your ultimate. If your ultimate is to not bow down to their demands, then you may not get your child back.
I think the best way to address any situation is the intentions of the situation. Were they wrong? If they were wrong, well, then we need to figure something else out to right it. If they were not wrong, and if we did something wrong as the authority, then we need to hold accountability where it needs to be held, because as proper authority, not doing that means that I'm not good authority. You know, I think that is how it needs to be addressed, because they don't have any actual factual evidence of what they're saying. They didn't whenever they got the pickup order. They got it falsely. But we do have actual factual evidence of wrongful intent of DHR, the judge, and a few other things. Assault on her at the hospital, assault on her baby because he was breastfeeding, and she ripped her baby off while he was breastfeeding. I mean, come on, you know. But these are things that we do have, you know, and we've been peaceful. We've stayed calm.
And everybody
more so calm than what most people probably would be, and it's all because we have faith in our Creator, and we're just hoping.
Well, you know, and I totally agree with you there on being calm. I commend you for that. I don't think I could be calm.
Many people have said that to us.
But you know, Jesus turned over the tables in the temple of the money changers.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus got angry. He never sinned, but he got angry.
Disappointed is like what I like to say.
He got angry.
It's
in the Bible, Jesus got angry.
Very disappointed is what I've seen a man.
He never sinned.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be time to get angry. I ain't go get angry and sin not.
Well, I don't see how the angry could.
That's not going to help anything
could
because
do.
they're using everything they can against us right now, and they're waiting for us to get angry so that they can use it against us.
Right.
When they took him away from me and they stuck him in the nursery down the hall from me, they took him out first so that he couldn't see it.
Well, they held me hostage in another room.
And the social worker sat at the end of my hospital bed, and she's like, you know, we just removed your child, and your husband's in the other room, and he's very calm, and that is concerning me. Like,
they were hoping that I was going to blow up.
It's concerning her because she wanted him to get angry.
And Bud Turner was actually trying to get me upset too. He was calling me a sissy, and amongst other things in the status conference. I got it all recorded, you know. But and I got a lot of recordings. You know, I started recording this when I figured out that there was a lot of malicious intent.
The DHR.
Then use the stuff to your advantage. I mean, I'm telling you, I cannot fathom you going this long without your child and not, you know, doing whatever it takes to get my child back.
Well, we're doing everything it takes in a different way. People just don't understand. One day people will understand.
And another thing is too is that once you find enough wrongful intent, if you keep going down the path of the people that gave you the wrongful intent and got you on that path, you're only walking right into your doom, because that's all they're doing now is they know they're in trouble, so they're just trying to fix this somewhere.
But
So
during the meantime, they still got your child.
You're absolutely correct.
And
we have to deal with the pain of that and our baby, but we didn't do anything wrong to begin with, and it's not a prideful thing. We cannot do what they say because we would be completely turning our back on God at that point. If God's using us for something, this is what we need to do.
My wife's wanting to know when I'm coming home. Let me call Bud and see what and tell him that y'all came by. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And like I say, I do know him. Let me find out.
Well, one thing I can tell you is the very last order that he put in was ordering us to produce DHR with all of their evidence that they didn't have to begin with in order to steal our child.
Or to try and get it.
To try and get anything that could, inculpatory evidence, you would call it, possibly.
Breaking your Fifth Amendment.
So he ordered us to sign HIPAA releases for anything that may or may not be out there, which we don't have anything. He ordered for us to do things that are completely against our rights, just to see if there is any evidence to back up DHR's claims.
And
you can't do that.
No, you can't do that because first the accusers must show their evidence first and something be wrong, and then.
And that's where you need a good attorney that understands the playbook to know.
Well, we objected and we filed an objection into the court, and but ultimately they're just dragging it on now. You know. We've been in this dependency case now for months.
Since December 5th.
You know, there's no reason for this dependency case.
He hasn't been adjudicated. It's just the same thing.
Yeah, just keeps dragging on.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm a little media.
Thank you for listening.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Hopefully, I can maybe talk to Bud and see what we can do. But I'll do my best.
All right, and we need to. You always have to keep in mind whenever you have authority, there has to be some balance to the authority. Otherwise, this person thinks they have more authority over this person. And the balance is that we must have love, we must have compassion, and not become selfish. Otherwise, there's no point in having authority. You see. And in our case, there's nothing that they had since day one to take our child. They did it unlawfully. Now, they might try and say, because in the very beginning that I was compliant because I thought it was because of a false accusation and I thought it was going to go away, and I was compliant and I did sign a HIPAA release and they got some records but they weren't certified, and then I revoked my HIPAA release once I figured out what they were trying to do and take things out of context. Well, there's some medical records that they got out there that are not correct, and I have to take that up with the with something else, you know. But even so, they were deemed inadmissible. So
by the first judge.
Yeah, and they were trying to hang their hat on that, you know, and that's all.
I'm sorry, I don't even know. I know you told me your names before.
Mm-hmm.
Christian and
Danielle.
Last name is Holm.
It's Holm. That's how we pronounce it.
Holm.
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 Mm-hmm. That's the baby.
Vowels are different in Denmark.
I like to show everybody.
He seems to be smiling and happy. I'm sure he'd be more happy with his mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
We all would be.
Mm-hmm.
That's the natural design of God.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
You're welcome.
Hello. I wasn't able to give him evidence, though.